So, Quentin Tarantino has got a new movie coming out. It's the Second World War drama, Inglourious Basterds. It opened in Cannes to, shall we say, mixed reviews, and it opens here on August the 21st. Will it be a return to form or just more infantile fanboy claptrap? Well, you'll have to wait and see. I'll review it the week it comes out. But let me take this preliminary opportunity to clear up an issue about my problem with Quentin Tarantino. I get asked sometimes, how come you started out such a big Quentin Tarantino fan, you're a big supporter of Reservoir Dogs, you love Pulp Fiction. Why is it now that when people mention Quentin Tarantino's name, you start to wince, you start to complain, you start to whinge? Well, it's very simple. My problem with Quentin Tarantino is not that I think he's a bad filmmaker. On the contrary, my problem with him is that I think he's a much better filmmaker than we have had any reason to believe recently. Look at the evidence. He starts out with Reservoir Dogs, which is an intelligent, stripped-down thriller, and he uses the success of that movie to give us Pulp Fiction, a Chinese puzzle of a movie with all these interlocking stories that intertwine and mesh quite beautifully. Then, after some side project diversions, he does something extraordinary in the shape of Jackie Brown. Now, people keep saying what a great dialogue writer Quentin Tarantino is. Well, yes, except that in a Quentin Tarantino film, everyone sounds like Quentin Tarantino. If they're male, female, old, young, black or white, they all sound like Quentin Tarantino. They all sound like that annoying, nerdy guy from the video store down the street. Yet, in the case of Jackie Brown, for the first time, we have fully rounded characters. We have women who actually appear to be women, not just people in dresses talking like Quentin Tarantino. We have character development. We have people who appear to be three-dimensional. We have backstory that fits up with the front story. We have something approaching maturity. In fact, we have his best film to date. But what happens with the box office? Well, it's very simple. After Pulp Fiction, expectations were high. The new movie from Quentin Tarantino was a big deal. And Jackie Brown did not do great at the box office. It didn't totally fail, but in Quentin's terms, it was not a success. So, he made his best movie. He didn't luck out with it in terms of money, so what does he do? The simple answer is, he runs back to the safety of the old fanboy claptrap that made him famous in the first place. So we get Kill Bill 1, Kill Bill 2, Death Proof, the entire Grindhouse project. Now, what does this tell you about Tarantino? Well, the thing that I am constantly being told is, look, he's like you. He's a fan. He loves those B movies so much he wants to pay homage to them. In Kill Bill, he's paying homage to the movies of the Shaw brothers. In Death Proof, he's paying homage to all those B movies that he grew up on. Well, I like all those movies too, but that's not the reason Quentin Tarantino keeps remaking them. The real reason he keeps remaking them is because when he did something different, he didn't make money at the box office. I know everyone wants to believe that he is the world's greatest, most true-hearted fan. But when I look at what happened since Jackie Brown, I see somebody chasing a fast buck, and that essentially is no different to what Michael Bay has done for the whole of his career. Now, is Inglourious Basterds a return to form, or is it more of the same? Well, as I said, you'll have to wait and see. But let me reiterate, my problem is not that I expect the worst from Quentin. My problem is that I expect the best, because he's demonstrated just how good he can be. And when you've been that good, there really is no excuse for being as bad as he's been.